If your legs feel weaker than they used to, if stairs take more effort, getting out of a chair feels slower, or walking even short distances leaves your legs tired and heavy, you are not imagining it. And more importantly, you are not powerless. A lot of people assume weak legs are just part of aging. They think once you pass a certain age, muscle loss is unavoidable, balance has to get worse, and strength can only go in one direction. But that is not the full story. Because while aging does change the body, the speed of that decline is heavily influenced by what you do every day, especially what you eat. And here is something most people never hear clearly enough. Your muscles are not only built in the gym, they are built in the kitchen. Every single meal is either feeding your strength or slowly draining it. That is why today we are counting down 5 of the most powerful foods for keeping your legs strong as you age. These are foods that support muscle tissue, improve recovery, protect your cells, and help older adults stay mobile, steady, and independent far longer than most people expect. And we are not talking about trendy powders, expensive supplements, or miracle products. We are talking about real food. Real food that, when used consistently, can help your legs feel steadier, stronger, and more reliable. So without any delay, let's begin with number 5, because sometimes the right food can start helping your muscles faster than you think. Number 5, sweet potatoes, the 5th most powerful food for strong legs later in life, may surprise you, because it is not a high-protein food at all. It is the sweet potato. And for generations, sweet potatoes have been a staple in some of the healthiest, long-living populations in the world, in places known for exceptional longevity. They have often been eaten regularly by older adults who remained active well into advanced age. That is not an accident. Sweet potatoes bring something to the table that aging muscle desperately needs: steady energy, protective antioxidants, and minerals that help muscles actually contract and recover properly. One of the biggest reasons sweet potatoes matter is beta-carotene, the orange pigment your body can convert into vitamin A. That nutrient plays an important role in protecting cells, including muscle cells, from the oxidative wear and tear that builds up over the years. Think of it this way. Inside each muscle cell are tiny structures that act like energy generators. As you get older, those structures become more vulnerable to damage. When that happens, muscles tire more easily, recover more slowly, and gradually lose power. Nutrients in sweet potatoes help protect those energy systems instead of letting them wear down unchecked. Sweet potatoes are also rich in potassium, which is one of the most important minerals for muscle function. If potassium is too low, muscles do not fire as smoothly. That can lead to weakness, fatigue, or those frustrating nighttime leg cramps that wake so many older adults out of sleep. And then there is the fiber. Sweet potatoes provide a slower, steadier source of carbohydrate than the processed foods many people rely on. That matters because muscles need fuel, but they do better with stable energy than with big blood sugar spikes and crashes. Now here is where preparation matters. A lot of people peel sweet potatoes automatically, but the skin contains valuable fiber and protective plant compounds, so if you tolerate it well, keeping the skin on is often the better choice. Steaming or baking them gently works best. You want them soft but not overcooked into mush. That helps preserve more nutrients and makes them easier to digest. And here is one simple trick. Eat them with a little healthy fat. A teaspoon of olive oil, tahini, or even a few bites alongside another meal can help your body absorb the fat-soluble nutrients more effectively. If you want the practical target, aim for 1 medium sweet potato about 4 times a week. Orange varieties are excellent, and purple varieties can add extra plant pigments that support recovery and endurance. Sweet potatoes may not look like a muscle food, but for aging legs, they provide a stable foundation. And if sweet potatoes are the foundation, the next food is like adding structural support from the inside out. Number 4. Sardines. Number 4 is sardines. And sardines may be one of the most underrated foods for aging muscles on the entire planet. A lot of people overlook them because they are simple, inexpensive, and not exactly glamorous. But in terms of what they deliver for your legs, sardines are incredibly powerful. Why? Because they combine several things older muscles need all at once. First, sardines are rich in high-quality protein. And not just a little. They provide a dense source of protein in a small serving, which is important because older adults often need more protein than they realize just to maintain the muscle they already have. Second, sardines are loaded with omega-3 fats, especially EPA and DHA. These fats help reduce inflammation and support the structure of muscle cell membranes. That matters more than people think. When muscle cells are healthier and more responsive, they are better able to repair, adapt, and respond to activity. Third, sardines give you something that many older adults are not getting enough of: vitamin D and calcium, especially if you eat the soft bones. That combination is gold for aging legs. Vitamin D is closely tied to muscle performance, balance, and fall risk. Low vitamin D is common in older adults, and when it stays low, strength can suffer. Calcium, meanwhile, is essential for muscle contraction. Without enough of it, muscles simply do not perform the way they should, and this is what makes sardines special. You are not getting one helpful nutrient. You are getting the complete package in one compact food. Now let's talk about how to use them. The best sardines are usually the ones packed in water or olive oil, not inflammatory seed oils. If possible, choose wild-caught varieties. If you are new to sardines and the flavor feels strong, do not force yourself to eat them plain right away. Mash them with a little lemon juice, mix them into a salad, spread them on whole grain toast, or combine them with chopped tomatoes, herbs, and olive oil. The bones are soft and edible, and they are where a lot of the calcium lives, so try not to discard them if you can help it. A good target is 1 can, 2 times per week. And if you really want to get the most from them, eat them after activity, especially after walking, climbing stairs, or doing any leg-focused movement. That is when your muscles are especially ready to use protein for repair and rebuilding. Sardines are one of those foods people underestimate until they start eating them regularly. Then a few weeks later, they notice their legs feel a little more dependable, their recovery is better, and their overall stamina begins to improve. But if sardines help rebuild and reinforce muscle from the inside, the next food helps protect muscle against one of the biggest enemies of aging: breakdown. Number 3. Black beans. Number 3 is black beans. This is another food that surprises people, because when they think about muscle, they usually think only about meat, eggs, or protein shakes. But black beans deserve a place on this list because they do something very important for older adults. They help support muscle while also improving the internal environment that muscles need in order to survive. Let me explain. Yes, black beans provide plant protein, and that matters. A cup of black beans delivers a meaningful amount of protein that can contribute to muscle maintenance, especially when eaten regularly. But their value goes beyond protein. Black beans are also rich in fiber, magnesium, folate, iron, and a special type of carbohydrate often called resistant starch. That resistant starch feeds beneficial gut bacteria. And when those bacteria are healthy, they produce compounds that support the rest of the body, including muscles. This may sound indirect, but it matters. More and more research is showing that the gut and muscle are connected. A healthier gut can mean less inflammation, better nutrient absorption, and a better overall environment for preserving lean tissue. Then there is magnesium. Magnesium is absolutely essential for muscle function. It helps muscles contract and relax properly. Without enough of it, you can feel weak, crampy, tight, or unusually fatigued. Many older adults are not getting enough magnesium, and black beans are one of the simplest ways to help close that gap. Black beans also provide iron, which helps carry oxygen to tissues. Muscles that do not get enough oxygen tire faster. That means you feel heavier, slower, and less stable. Now let's talk preparation, because this really does matter. If you use canned black beans, rinse them well to lower the extra sodium. If you cook dried beans, soaking them first can make them easier to digest and help improve mineral availability. Slow cooking tends to work well. You want them tender, creamy, and easy on the stomach. And one of the smartest ways to use black beans is to combine them with a whole grain like brown rice or quinoa. That pairing gives your body a broader amino acid profile and turns a humble meal into something far more supportive for muscle health. Timing matters too. Black beans are especially useful later in the day because they digest slowly and provide a steady release of nutrients. That can help support your body overnight, which is important because muscle breakdown continues even while you sleep. Aim for about half a cup at least 4 to 5 times a week. Black beans may not look dramatic on the plate, but over time they become one of those quiet foods that protects strength from slipping away. And while black beans help prevent muscle breakdown, the next food flips an even more powerful switch. It helps tell your muscles to build. Number 2. Eggs. Number 2 is eggs. And if there is one food that has been misunderstood for decades, it is the whole egg. For a long time, people were told to fear the yolk and focus only on the whites. But when it comes to strong legs and healthy aging, whole eggs are one of the most complete foods you can eat. They are rich in high-quality protein. And that matters because muscle tissue depends on amino acids to maintain itself. As you age, your body becomes less responsive to protein than it was when you were younger. That means older adults often need more high-quality protein, not less, if they want to keep muscle on their frame. Eggs provide exactly that. But what makes eggs so valuable is not just the protein content. It is the combination of protein with the nutrients found in the yolk, choline, vitamin D, B vitamins, selenium, and healthy fats that support absorption and recovery. One of the most important amino acids in eggs is leucine. Leucine acts like a signal. It helps tell the body that it is time to build and repair muscle. That signal becomes especially important after walking, exercise, or any activity that challenges the legs. And then there is choline. Choline helps the body make acetylcholine, a chemical messenger involved in muscle contraction. In very simple terms, it helps your brain and muscles communicate more effectively. That is a big deal for coordination, stability, and physical performance. So yes, eggs help build muscle, but they also help your nervous system communicate with muscle more efficiently. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake people make: overcooking them. When eggs are cooked until the yolks are hard, dry, and chalky, some of their more delicate nutrients are reduced. Soft-boiled, poached, or gently scrambled eggs tend to preserve more of what makes them so valuable. If you like soft-boiled eggs, cooking them until the yolk is still a little soft is a great option. If you prefer scrambled eggs, cook them on lower heat and stop before they get rubbery. And timing matters here more than most people realize. Eating 2 to 3 whole eggs after morning activity can be a very smart move. After a walk, a strength routine, or even a physically active morning, your muscles are more prepared to use those amino acids for repair and growth. If cholesterol has made you nervous about eggs, this is where context matters. For many people, whole eggs can fit into a healthy diet just fine, especially when the rest of the diet is balanced. Of course, anyone with a specific medical reason to limit them should follow personal medical advice, but for a large number of older adults, eggs are one of the best muscle-supporting foods available. Aim for 1 to 2 whole eggs daily, and if you are especially focused on rebuilding strength, 2 to 3 may fit well depending on the rest of your diet. Eggs are simple, affordable, versatile, and extraordinarily effective. But even eggs, impressive as they are not number 1. Because the top food on this list brings together protein, anti-inflammatory fats, and cellular protection in a way that is hard to match. Number 1. Wild-caught salmon. Number 1 is wild-caught salmon. If your goal is to keep your legs strong, resilient, and functional as you age, salmon is one of the best foods you can put on your plate. And what makes it so powerful is that it does not just help in one way. It helps in several major ways at once. First, salmon provides complete, highly usable protein. This gives your body the raw material it needs to maintain and rebuild muscle tissue. Second, it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA, which help reduce inflammation and support the health of muscle cells. Chronic inflammation is one of the hidden drivers of age-related weakness. It interferes with recovery, stresses tissues, and makes muscles less responsive over time. Omega-3s help push back against that. Third, salmon naturally provides vitamin D, a nutrient strongly connected to muscle performance, balance, and strength. And fourth, salmon contains a powerful antioxidant called astaxanthin, which gives it that pink color. Astaxanthin helps protect cells from oxidative stress, including the energy-producing parts of muscle cells that tend to become more fragile with age. This is why salmon stands out. It does not just feed muscle. It also helps protect muscle from aging damage. And if you choose wild-caught salmon, you often get a better fatty acid profile than many farmed options, which is why it is the preferred choice if available and affordable. Now let's talk preparation, because this can make a big difference. The best method is a gentle one. You want salmon cooked enough to be safe and flaky, but not so much that it dries out. Overcooking can reduce the quality of both the texture and some of the delicate fats. Baking at a moderate temperature, lightly pan-searing, or gently roasting are all excellent methods. If the skin is crisp and edible, that can be a bonus, because the skin also contains beneficial fats. Season it simply. Lemon, herbs, olive oil, garlic, maybe a little sea salt if appropriate for your needs. It does not need much. And just like eggs and sardines, salmon shines after activity. Eating it within a couple of hours after a long walk, leg exercises, or any physically demanding day can support recovery beautifully. A practical goal is 4 to 6 ounces, 2 to 3 times per week. If you can do that consistently, it adds up. Week after week, month after month, your body is receiving exactly the kind of support aging muscles need most. And that is why wild-caught salmon takes the #1 spot. How these 5 foods work together now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Each of these foods helps your legs in a different way. Sweet potatoes help provide steady energy, potassium, and antioxidant protection. Sardines give you protein, omega-3s, calcium, and vitamin D. Black beans support muscle through protein, magnesium, fiber, and gut health. Eggs provide highly usable protein, leucine, choline, and powerful rebuilding support. Wild-caught salmon combines muscle-building protein with inflammation control and cellular protection. This is why one food alone is never the whole answer. Your body benefits most when these foods begin working as a team. One supports recovery. One supports contraction. One supports endurance. One supports rebuilding. One protects against the breakdown that comes with age. That is how real strength is preserved. Simple weekly plan. So, what would this look like in real life? Here is a very simple approach. Have sweet potatoes 4 times a week as part of breakfast or lunch. Eat sardines twice a week, especially after activity. Include black beans most days in small portions with meals. Use eggs daily or near daily, especially in the morning. Have wild-caught salmon 2 or 3 times a week for lunch or dinner. That is it. Nothing extreme. Nothing expensive beyond reason. Nothing complicated. Just consistency. Because consistency beats intensity every time when it comes to aging well. Final message: if there is one thing I want you to take from this video, it is this. Weak legs are not only about age. They are often about underfed muscle, chronic inflammation, poor recovery, and years of missing the nutrients that help muscles stay alive and strong. And that means you can do something about it. Your legs have carried you through every stage of life. They have gotten you up, kept you moving, and helped you stay independent. They deserve better than being ignored until they fail. Start feeding them what they need. You do not have to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. Just begin. Add one of these foods this week, then another. Build the routine gradually. Let your meals start working for you instead of against you. Because with the right foods, your legs do not have to give up nearly as early as people think. And the stronger your legs stay, the more freedom you keep.